Hey everybody, it's Shark Scrapper. How about a tale of two scrapyards? So, I went to two scrapyards, both on the same day, dropping off shred. So, I thought it might be fun to just let you all see the difference in the two yards, look at the prices, and get your thoughts on who you would frequent the most. Now, something to think about. The yard that you're looking at right now, this one is about 35 miles or so from the shark cage. So I have to drive there unless, as you see right here, I picked up a bunch of shred that was from a neighborhood nearby. So for me, this is a relatively quick drive from that neighborhood up here, get rid of all the street scrap shred. But if I had to drive up from the shark cage, I'm spending 35 miles just to get there and then I have to go back again. The yard that we'll see in a little bit is much closer, but very different kind of arrangement. This street scrapping load was 700 pounds, and this yard is paying 8.35 cents a pound. So this was a $58.45 load. Not too bad for a couple hours work. Now this yard is very close to the shark cage, not even a mile away, maybe even just a half mile away. In fact, this yard was so close that one time they had an explosion in the shred compactor, and I could feel the shockwave at the shark cage. They're a much smaller yard, though, and they don't have pavement. So when it rains, it gets really muddy here. Never been stuck. They've got some good hard pack down, but it does get very muddy. I have had to go four-wheel drive a couple times just to make sure. All right, now, this guy, I don't know if he wants me to use his name, so I'm not going to use his name. Good guy. He and I have been, we know each other well. One of the issues here is that, so he'll come write up a ticket for me. He'll put down the license plate of the Sharkmobile, look at my driver's license, and then he'll mark off what's in the back. Usually it's just tin. They call it tin shred, I think. And then I go unload, go back over the scale to get my out weight, and then take the ticket in to get paid. But because they're a smaller yard, it can back up really easy, and it can get backed up when they have to bring in the, a large truck to load up, because that large truck can end up blocking the access to where we unload our smaller vehicles. Now, at the yard that you saw me at the first time in the beginning of this video, that larger yard, they're paved. It's either concrete or asphalt, depending upon where you are in the yard, because they've paved sections as they've gone through time. And the only time it gets backed up there is when there's just too many people coming in all at the same time. You come in over the scale, and then you go either line up to go to the shred pile or line up to go to what they call buyback for the non-ferrous and e-waste items and such. And so sometimes it can just get really busy there. They can have anywhere from 3 to 4 cars unloading, trucks unloading at a time. Here, they're lucky if they can get 2 vehicles unloading at a time just because of the way it's arranged with their own tractors and cranes in the way, and the fact that you got to turn around and back up into the pile and stuff like that. It just can get really slowed down here. I don't want to sound bad about the guys. I mean, most of the guys that I work with here are good guys. They work hard and they'll actually come help me unload, whereas very rarely do the people at the other yard, the first yard I went to, very rarely will they help me unload. Every once in a while they'll help me, but they don't do it a lot. So it's just, the difference in the 2 yards. Now, the other big difference with this yard is that they don't pay as much. They are always a lower price than the first yard that I went to. So, for instance, this load that I had today, 520 pounds, and they are paying 5.75 cents a pound. So, $29.90. Another, just a little nuance about the way that we get paid. At the first yard, after they give you your ticket, you go to the ATM machine. Well, the ATM machine rounds off, so because it only spits out bills. So if your ticket was, in my case, my ticket was $58.45. So the machine only gave me $58. If it had been $58.51, I would have gotten $59 because that's, the machine just rounds off to the bill. But at this yard I'm at right now, there's a human that gives you the money. So they give you the bills and the change. So I will get $29.90 when I go to cash out. So it's a trade-off. Basically, the cost difference is the fuel. So the fuel that I spend getting up to the other yard that pays me better, I might as well just bring my stuff here. Although sometimes I can sit here and wait in line longer than if I just went up to the other yard. So, it's all these weird trades. Now, the bottom line is, what do? I go to the one that's closest to me, depending upon what my load is. When I empty all the stuff from the shark cage, like the shells, I can fill up the back of the Sharkmobile with all of the computer shells very easily. So it's very convenient for me to just drive the half mile over here and get rid of the shells and then get back to the shark cage and get to work again. So there's a convenience factor of coming to this place, even though they don't pay as much. And sometimes I get stuck here waiting for big trucks to get out of the way and stuff. So, what's it like with your yards? What do you end up doing? Do you have multiple yards that you go to? And if you do, what's your decision matrix for why you go to the different yards that you go to? Alrighty, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little discussion, A Tale of Two Scrapyards. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And there's links popping up to take you to more Shark Scrapper videos. One of them will be what the YouTube algorithm thinks you want to see. Have a great day. Oh, and the round one in the middle is to help you to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Have a great day, everybody.